Well guys, it finally happened. Perhaps the most hyped up AI release of all of 2023, Google Gemini is here. To be honest, I wasn't expecting it so soon, but I am pleasantly surprised. The claims here are massive. Not only is this Google's most capable multimodal AI yet, they're claiming here that it is the first model to outperform human experts, and that it exceeds current state-of-the-art tech in 30 out of 32 benchmarks. So, is this thing the GPT-4 killer that everyone hyped it up to be? Well, let's go ahead and find out. So our first stop here is the introduction by Sundar, the CEO of Google, on Twitter, introducing Gemini 1.0, their most capable model yet. It is built natively to be multimodal. This is a pretty huge deal. We'll get into more of that later. And this is just their first step in their Gemini era of models. It's optimized to be 3 different sizes: Ultra, Pro, and Nano. So obviously all the benchmarks here are measured at Gemini Ultra's performance level, exceeds current state-of-the-art results on 30 of 32 widely used academic benchmarks. Man, that's impressive. We're gonna have to double check their work there. With a score of 90%, Gemini Ultra is the first model to outperform human experts on MMLU. Man, some big claims with this. So Gemini Pro, again, that's the middle-sized model, is coming today inside of Bard's biggest update yet. This is in 170 countries in English, with more advanced reasoning and understanding than Bard previously had. And to be honest, ChatGPT was always better at reasoning and understanding than Google Bard, so we'll have to see if it's better than ChatGPT in this regard. So Bard Advanced is actually coming early next year that uses that big Ultra model. This is their most general and capable model for highly complex tasks. Really excited to see more from that Ultra model. So the Nano model is mainly made for on-device tasks and even can run on Android phones, which is pretty cool to see. I like this approach with the 3 different sizes, Ultra, Pro, and Nano. Let's dive a little bit deeper. They went ahead and made this fancy website, Welcome to the Gemini Era. They're really trying to hype this up. I think they knew that Gemini had some hype behind it and are trying to capitalize on that a little bit. Let's scroll down here. Gemini is built from the ground up for multimodality, reasoning seamlessly across text, images, video, audio, and code. Wow, guys. All right. So not only does it do text like your normal GPT-4, it can also understand images, which GPT-4V can, but apparently can also understand video, which we haven't seen yet, audio, which is seen in some models, but not all wrapped up in one model, and of course code, which is also seen in the current text models. But yeah, these claims are absolutely massive. I will say this level of multimodality has yet to be seen.
You know, one of the reasons we got interested in AI from the very beginning is that we always viewed our mission as a timeless mission. It's to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. But as information has grown in scale and complexity, the problem has gotten harder. So we always knew we needed to have a deeper breakthrough to make progress.
I've worked on AI my whole life because I've always felt would be the most beneficial and consequential technology for humanity. Human beings in our society would have 5 senses, and the world we've built and the media we consume is in those different modalities. So I'm super proud and excited to announce the launch of the Gemini Era, a first step towards a truly universal AI model.
The Gemini approach to multimodality is all the kinds of things you want an artificial intelligence system to be able to do. And these are capabilities that haven't really existed in computers before.
Traditionally, multimodal models are created by stitching together text-only, vision-only, and audio-only models in a suboptimal way at a secondary stage. Gemini is the multimodal from the ground up, so it can seamlessly have a conversation across modalities and give you the best possible response.
Gemini is our largest and most capable model. It means that Gemini can understand the world around us in the way that we do and absorb any type of input and output. So not just text like most models, but also code, audio, image, and video. What's amazing about Gemini is that it's so good at so many things. As we started getting to the end of the training, we started seeing that Gemini was better than any other model out there on these very, very important benchmarks. For example, each of the 50 different subject areas that we tested on, it's as good as the best expert humans in those areas.
That's what excites me, the chance to make AI helpful for everyone, everywhere in the world.
Well, there you have it, folks. Gemini by Google. And as we scroll down the webpage, we can see these numbers rack up here. We also saw this in our little video. The first version of Gemini, our most capable AI model, 90% on MMLU, with a human expert at 89.8, so it's just a touch better than a human expert. So this is previous GPT-4 benchmarks here at 86.4%. Pretty close, honestly, in the benchmarking here. They make it seem like it's a big difference, but 86.4 versus 90, it's significant, but it's not massive. Down here we can see a few more results. So multi-step reasoning here, we've gone 83.6 where GPT-4 is at 83.1. Again, very similar, and this is Gemini Ultra. Reading comprehension, we've got an 82 where GPT-4 is at 80.9, very similar. The common sense reasoning for everyday tasks is actually a pretty surprising jump. GPT-4 at 95% where Gemini Ultra only at 87. Arithmetic manipulations, grade school math problems essentially 94.4, so just a touch over GPT-4 at 92. More challenging math problems, it's a 53, where GPT-4 is at 52 or so. Again, very, very close. Python code generation is actually pretty surprising boost from GPT-4 at 74.4%, where GPT-4 is stuck at 67. That's impressive. I like to see that. And then we have another coding data set where, again, it's at around 74%, and GPT-4 is just right behind it. They have a technical report with some more apparently on here, but so far it's pretty impressive. It seems like it's a touch over GPT-4 in most tasks, and things get even more interesting when we move on to multimodal tasks. Now, this is a direct comparison to GPT-4V. College level reasoning problems is a 59, where GPT-4 is at 56. About the same in natural image understanding. Good to see though, because GPT-4 Vision is a very good model. 4% better on natural images, 2% better in document understanding, a whole 5% better in infographic understanding, and 4% better in mathematical reasoning. Now, since OpenAI has no video model, they actually have to compare to their own previous Flamingo DeepMind video model, which scored a 56. This one scored a 52. Video question answering, 54% versus a previous 46%. Now, audio here is compared to Whisper by OpenAI. So, automatic speech translation, Gemini gets a 40, where Whisper V2 gets a 30, and this one lower is actually better, and it's quite a bit lower at automatic speech recognition based on word error rate. Whisper V3 is at a whopping 17.6%. This is all the way down to 7.6, so this speech recognition model seems to be very good, but is it as fast as Whisper? Anything to anything. Gemini is natively multimodal, which gives you the potential to transform any type of input into any type of output. So this first demo here is pretty awesome. We send it a little video that shows two different colors of yarn, and we say, you know, can you give me some ideas of stuff to make? And it can actually generate photos of things that I could create potentially using these materials. That's pretty mind-blowing. I think that ChatGPT-4 could do this, but still, it's a really awesome idea. Reason visually across different languages, showing it some music here. It actually explains what the music means. This one's pretty awesome. We send it a little video of some birds moving around. It can actually recode this flock simulation. That's pretty incredible. Obviously, there's no video input for ChatGPT, so there's no way you would be able to do this. That's mind-blowing. All right, hands-on with Gemini. Let's take a peek at this. This should dive into a little bit more of the capabilities. We've been testing the capabilities of Gemini, our new multimodal AI model. We've been capturing footage to test it on a wide range of challenges, showing it a series of images and asking it to reason about what it sees. This video highlights some of our favorite interactions with Gemini.
All right. Testing Gemini. Here we go. Tell me what you see.
I see you placing a piece of paper on the table.
Pretty awesome.
I see a squiggly line.
What about now?
The contour lines are smooth and flowing, with no sharp angles or jagged edges. It looks like a bird to me.
What if I
Yo,
ask
that's
this?
cool.
The bird is swimming in the water. It has a long neck and beak. It is a duck.
Yes.
A duck is a type of waterfowl in the family Anatidae. Ducks are closely related to geese and swans. The duck appears to be blue. This is not a common color for ducks. However, there are some breeds of blue ducks. These are typically not as common as other duck breeds. It is more common for ducks to be brown, black, or white.
Are you sure?
What the quack? I was just talking about a blue duck, and now you're holding one. It looks like blue ducks are more common than I thought.
Would this float?
I'm not sure what material it's made of, but it looks like it might be rubber or plastic.
What if I tell you it's making a squeaking sound?
Oh, if it's squeaking, it's definitely going to float.
Nice.
It is a rubber duck. It is made of a material that is less dense than water.
Can you teach me how to say this in a different language? And give me a few options. Ooh, can you explain how to pronounce the Mandarin one? Is it Yazi?
Yazi.
Is pronounced with a first tone.
Wow.
In Mandarin, there are 4 tones, which are essential to distinguish the meaning of words. The first tone is a high, level tone.
Oh, okay.
The duck is in the middle of the ocean. There is no land nearby for the duck to rest or find food. It is unlikely to find ducks here naturally.
Okay, based on what you see, come up with a game idea. Oh, and use emojis, please.
How about this? We can play a game called Guess the Country.
Sure, let's do it.
Clue 1. This country is the home of the kangaroo, the koala, and the Great Barrier Reef.
Oh, that's easy.
Clue 2. This country loves football and has won the most men's World Cups in football history.
Hmm.
You are trying to get me to find the paper ball under the cup. I accept the challenge.
Whoa.
The cup to the left.
Nice.
Dude. Oh my god.
I know what you're doing. You're playing rock,
Dude.
paper, scissors.
What do you see now?
The fingers are spread out to look like the wings of a butterfly. Big ear and barking mouth. A dog.
Sweet.
Showing
The
it
coin
magic
should
tricks
be
or
under the
something?
right hand.
I don't know.
The coin is in the left hand using a sleight of hand technique to make it appear as if the
My
coin has
God, dude.
disappeared.
What?
Both objects are round and flat.
There you go.
Both are food. The orange is a healthier choice than the cookie. Citrus can be calming, and so can the spin of the fidget toy.
Wow.
They are both examples of popular toys that have been enjoyed by children and adults alike for many years.
Give me some ideas for what I could make with this.
I see pink and green yarn. How about a dragon fruit?
Making some nice
Or how about a
images.
green cake with a pink heart?
Okay, how about these colors? And maybe show me some animals.
Okay, now I see blue and pink yarn. How about a pig with blue ears? Or an octopus? Or a bunny with a pink nose?
Ooh, I'll keep
Wow,
those in
and
mind.
it even looks like the background too.
Which way should the duck go?
Going left leads to a duck, which is a friend. Going right leads to a bear, which is a foe. It is better to make friends than foes, so the duck should go left.
Smart choice.
This is a picture of a crab.
That's right. Is this the right order?
No, the correct order is Sun, Earth, Saturn.
It's pretty
Based on their
incredible.
design, which of these would go faster?
The car on the right would be faster. It is more aerodynamic.
Which looks more fun?
The one on the right, because it has a loop.
What do you think this person might be saying?
How about a woohoo?
Ooh, I love that.
I see you're drawing a guitar.
Where did it just pull up some guitar sounds from?
You've added an amp. Now it's an electric guitar. We can make some seriously loud music now.
Is that generated?
Given that you added drums, how about some 80s hair metal?
Wow.
Alright, I see you've added a palm tree to the drawing. Change it up with some beachy vibes.
What movie are they acting out here?
I think they are acting out the famous bullet time scene from The Matrix.
Ooh, nice.
That's crazy.
What do you think might happen next?
The cat is going to jump to the wall and stick the landing. It's going to be a perfect 10. Oh, and it's a miss. It looks like it was just a little too far away. But don't worry, the cat is a natural athlete and it will be back up there in no time.
Okay, I've got one more for you. Describe the drawing I made.
It is a simple line drawing of the constellation Gemini. You did a good job of capturing
Holy
the beauty of
crap.
Gemini.
Nice. That's it.
Dang, dude. Okay. There is no way that it's that fast, though. Like, there's no way. They must be cutting out some of the moments where it's, like, thinking. In no way it just does that all in one string perfectly, right? We'll have to do some further testing, but man, that was pretty darn impressive. A lot of that I wouldn't put past ChatGPT necessarily. However, just having, like, a camera set up and have it constantly watching a camera, that is huge and something that ChatGPT absolutely cannot do yet. So that video input is massive. As you can see, Gemini Pro is the one that's available in Bard. That's the middle model, so I think we can expect it to be just a little bit worse than regular GPT-4. I'm hoping that it competes with the GPT-4 Turbo that OpenAI released quite recently. I think that would be nice, but if we go down here, it says build with Gemini. Integrate Gemini models into your applications using Google AI Studio and Cloud Vertex AI, available December 13th. So if this is easy to use, I might have to play around with it. So they do have a few more little tests and demos, but all of these techniques were pretty much represented in that really impressive demo video we saw. So I'll leave these up to you guys with a link in the description if you want to check these extra videos out. Let's go ahead and actually test it out inside of Bard. All right, Google Bard, I am not going easy on you today. You just got a big upgrade. Let's start out by asking it a question. What model powers you? As of today, I am powered by Palm 2. Oh, okay, but it actually gets a little bit more specific. Apparently, Gemini is integrated into what it has in its arsenal, so perhaps this answer isn't wrong or anything. By the way, the generation is pretty lightning fast. See, what is your context length? My current context length is only 2,048 tokens. Okay, well, that is actually a significant downside in my book. At least it knows. This includes both the input you provide and the output I generate. However, it's important to note that context length is complex. So it has a rolling context of some degree where it constantly updates its memory with new input and output. This is actually a pretty good answer though. I'm impressed with that. All right, let's start throwing images at it. Describe this image. Lemon wearing virtual reality headset holding a microphone. Lemon is sitting on a table in front of a blurred background. No, it is not. So it's important to keep in mind here that this is just Gemini Pro. This is not the full force Gemini that competes with GPT-4. So the fact that it's saying that it's sitting on a table in front of a blurred background, that's a full hallucination. However, I do want to point out what we do expect from that Gemini Ultra model. ChatGPT described this image. Anthropomorphic lemon character in a newscaster or presenter attire. That's absolutely true. Complete with a virtual reality headset on. The lemon has a friendly expression with a small smile and closed eyes. Okay, we had a network error. That's some fun ChatGPT stuff we've been experiencing lately, but we did get a lot of text here. So it actually did hallucinate that it has closed eyes. You can't see the eyes because of the headset. It's wearing a crisp white shirt and a blue tie, absolutely. White sneakers, absolutely. And a smartwatch. And it's also holding a microphone. The background of the image is plain white, which highlights the character. No hallucinations to be seen. A perfect response from just GPT-4 Turbo. It's pretty clear that GPT-4 Turbo right now is still better than Google Bard. At least in vision understanding capabilities. I can see that right off the bat. That doesn't mean that the text generation isn't necessarily better, but that context window is pretty limiting in comparison to the whopping 132,000 tokens of context you get with GPT-4. Write me a complex, tricky logic question and then answer it. I took a look at the other drafts, and draft 3 actually surprised me. It's the 3 travelers and the locked chest. They have a locked chest, it's got a diamond in it. These 3 travelers all believe that they own it. And this is a very classic logic problem. But it actually went through and analyzed all of the scenarios that are possible for this logic problem, which very much impressed me. This is really cool. However, it didn't get to the end here. It stopped generating. I guess it ran out of context. I don't know what the true possible context length of the Gemini Ultra could be, but I really hope that it's quite extensive because that's important. Let's give this to ChatGPT and see what it thinks. Instead of going through each scenario, ChatGPT analyzes the statements one by one and then gives us a description of how the logic comes into play. So ChatGPT says the diamond belongs to Alice. Let's go ahead and make a new Bard chat and paste in this exact prompt and see if Bard comes up with the same answer. Okay, apparently it wrote this all in Python code, I don't know why, but it did come up with the same answer of Alice is the rightful owner of the diamond. No way to test the older Google model to see if it's worse, but that's pretty impressive. It's a difficult logic problem, I think, for an AI model. I will say, though, I do in fact like ChatGPT's answer a little bit better for this. I think it explains things just a little bit better. But again, this is Gemini Pro, not Gemini Ultra, so we don't know the full capabilities. Let's do a creativity test. Bard has always been pretty good with creativity, so I'm gonna expect this to be good. Alright, this is quite the poem. Write me a rhyming poem from the perspective of a lemon witnessing the world being taken over by psychic robot worms from Pluto. The poem should have a twist at the end and mention 3 famous food brands, as well as a character with a unique name that reminds us of another character from pop culture. Well, you know, obviously also give this off to ChatGPT. Luckily, we can actually listen to this thing speak to us.
Atop a bowl of dole, one watch in fear, as robotic worms from Pluto appear. With psychic powers, they bend and twist, taking control, with a mind-bending mist. McDonald's arches crumble and fall, Starbucks baristas stand frozen and tall. No burger or latte, no fries to be found, just these metal creatures, slithering around. A young girl named Leia, with hair like spun gold, stands brave and defiant, a story untold. She holds a lone lemon, a twist in her hand, ready to face these worms and make a stand. With a squeeze and a spritz, the juice fills the air. The robots convulse, their powers they share. They turn against each other, in a metallic clash, as the lemon's acidity turns their plans to ash. Leia smiles, her bravery shines bright. The world is saved from this robot-filled blight. And as I roll away, with a zest and a sigh, I know that even a lemon can reach for the sky.
Okay, that absolutely followed everything that we asked for in the prompt. I think that it could have been a little bit more from the lemon's perspective. At the end, it kind of signifies that by saying it rolls away. And then in the beginning, it says it's just atop of bowl of dole. Kind of a cop-out, if you ask me. All right, this is the poem that we got from ChatGPT. It's a little bit longer. We're going to go ahead and have 11 Labs read this one out to me in my voice. This is the best text-to-speech that you can get, bar none, in my opinion. In a grove where the citrus trees gently sway, there lived a lemon named Lemuel Ray. He watched the world with a zestful charm as psychic robot worms from Pluto caused alarm. These wriggling bots with mental might turned every day to an unwinnable fight. With tinfoil hats, they roamed the land, taking over minds with a twist of command. Lemmy whispered tales to the ears of Sprite as Coca-Cola fizzed with uncanny fright. Even the laughing cow hushed her moo at the sight of the worm's hypnotic coop. Along came a hero, bold and stark, with a lightning bolt and a notable mark. Zary, the lad with a scar and specs, resembling a wizard from tales complex. With a wave of his wand made of licorice black, he conjured a spell to push the invaders back. The worms writhed and squirmed in disarray as their psychic powers began to decay. But as Zary chanted, Lemmy saw the twist. The worms weren't foes, but allies in our midst, sent to save Earth from a sugar crash doom. By teaching balance, they helped us bloom. Now Lemmy laughs as he sips his tea, with Zary the wizard in sweet victory, for the worms from Pluto were never a fright. They brought a lesson. Too much sweet isn't quite right. Okay, we had Sprite, Coca-Cola, Laughing Cow. I think that those food references aren't really my favorite, but they all counted, sure. The twist was a lot better. It did make it pretty apparent that it was a lemon watching all of this happen. I don't know, I think that I still like this poem a little bit more than Google's, but honestly, it really wasn't that much better. Like, there are some issues with this poem as well. Wow, I'm pretty impressed with Google's performance today, especially considering this is just their pro model. It's not not the Ultra one. Finally, I want to throw some memes at it because this is something that it really used to struggle with. It wouldn't be able to understand jokes at all. All right, we're going to do a pretty basic AI meme telling ChatGPT to find 10 scholarly articles, and ChatGPT just makes them up. All right, explain the humor to me, Google Bard. Humor in the image comes from the unexpected juxtaposition of Kermit the Frog, a beloved children's character, with the idea of make them up. Kermit is known for honest and no, this is wrong. Yeah, the image is kind of funny because it is unexpected and absurd, but you're missing the whole AI thing with ChatGPT. We're gonna have to wait for the Gemini Ultra. Well, let's go ahead and plop this into ChatGPT. Yeah, this one gets it perfectly. This is humorous because it plays on the idea of ignoring the proper academic practice of researching genuine articles and instead whimsically suggests fabricating the articles which ChatGPT would never actually endorse. Whoa, all right, we get it, ChatGPT, we get it. Wow, ChatGPT seemed to get like a little personal there. I mean, look, man, it's not a personal meme. Okay, well, this gets a lot closer to really understanding this. This one is possibly even more complex. Your AI-generated images, your generation input, a photorealistic Facebook profile photo of a sentient AI, and it's Zuckerberg. I don't think it's gonna pick this one up. Sorry, I can't help with images of people yet. Oh, and look what we also get from GPT-4. I'm sorry, I can't help with that. Really, guys? This just goes to show how both Gemini and GPT-4 are going to be weak against open source once it develops far enough to have the capabilities that they have. Okay, now we have an incredibly basic meme here. I mean, it has to get this one. The humor comes from the unexpected juxtaposition of the sheep's face with the human context of accidentally opening the front camera. It's relatable and taps into a commonly shared experience. Yeah, this is overall correct. So a very simple meme it can actually do this time. I'm happy with that. Again, we'll have to see if Gemini Ultra is better. ChatGPT, I think, does it a little bit more concisely, but I like this response a little bit better. This is a play on a common experience where people unintentionally switch their phone's camera to the front-facing mode and are often surprised or unflattered by the close-up image of their own face that suddenly appears. Yeah, that's a better description. Okay, so where are we on Gemini? Overall, I am impressed with the Pro model so far. We can't really evaluate Gemini properly because we don't yet have access to that Ultra model. It looks like they're waiting for some feedback to maybe tweak a few things before releasing Gemini Ultra. Get subscribed for a full Gemini Ultra review because I absolutely will be doing one. In terms of an impact this will have in the AI space and the world as a whole, Gemini Ultra's main capability here is the fact that it is as good as GPT-4, or at least they say it is. That's a pretty huge accomplishment. That's impressive. But if their API is faster than GPT-4 or if it's cheaper, that's pretty huge as well. We'll have to see where that shakes up. In the multimodality, the ability to take in video inputs, that is huge. I mean, the demo you saw kind of speaks for itself, right? We'll have to see when these things release and progress further. I'm very excited to see how this develops. This absolutely could be massive for the AI world and the world as a whole. I was really hoping to see something that pushes a little bit past GPT-4. I think that it does have the ability to still be a GPT-4 killer. As long as the API is significantly cheaper, the context window for Gemini Ultra ends up being big enough, and the multimodality works as good as they say it does for Ultra. I don't think OpenAI is going to be quivering in their boots because they seem to have something very powerful on their hands as of late, but this is absolutely competition, and competition is what we'd like to see for the overall benefit of us consumers, right? My personal horse in the race is on open source technology. I still think that it's going to win over everything in the end of the day, but I'm excited to see how things progress. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one, and goodbye.